I wanted to play defense like the best Madden players in the world, so I studied the best Madden player to learn exactly how he shuts down his opponents. This defense out of the nickel 3-3 cub formation is used by many pro Madden players and was heavily used by the best Madden player in the world, Henry, on his way to winning $75,000 in the most recent Madden tournament. There's 2 very important plays you need in order for this defense to work properly, and 3 key tips to maximize its effectiveness. Using one without the other will not go over well, so make sure you follow this entire breakdown if you want to truly dominate your opponents. The 2 plays we want to look at in the nickel 3-3 cub formation is the Sam Will Blitz 3 and the Mike Blitz 0. You want to make sure that both of those plays are in your audibles, so when you open up the nickel 3-3 cub formation, press the left trigger or the L2 button. The Mike Blitz 0 is already there by default, but what you want to do is take this first play, select that, and then you want to swap it out with the Sam Will Blitz 3. The nickel 3-3 cub is found in a bunch of playbooks which I've briefly popped up on the screen, but I recommend using the 4-6 playbook, as that's where tip number 1 comes into play, and that is audibling. We can audible into this formation to give ourselves much better personnel on the field. To do this, we want to actually go to the nickel 3-3 regular formation. We want to press the wire triangle button, and we want to sub all of our linebackers out and have safeties here instead. The reason we want to do this is because they're going to be better for blitzing off the edge. Our user is going to be a safety, and when we do put them in coverage with one of the setups, we're going to have better coverage guys on the field. So what I like to do is come out in the cover 4 drop play, and this is what we want to do when we take the field. We want to quickly audible over into the nickel 3-3 cub. We do this by pressing the X or square button. We move the D-pad over to the right 1 click, and then right here we have both of our plays in the nickel 3-3 cub. The first play we're going to be breaking down is the Mike Blitz 0, so we would audible into that, and you can see it's a slightly different alignment, but now we have these 3 safeties on the field. They're going to be the guys rushing, but there's also going to be setups where they play coverage, and they're going to be better at that than linebackers are. Now for the base blitz out of this play, it's extremely simple. All you have to do is crash your defensive line out, which is left on the D-pad, up on the right stick, and then you want to press your defense, which is wire triangle, down on the left stick. Now man defense is very good this year, and this is going to allow us quick pressure off the edge if they don't block the running back. The only thing you really want to do here is watch the running back. If he goes out on a route, you just want to quickly cover the middle, and you're going to know that you're going to get quick pressure. If the running back stays in the block, you're looking for the block sheds to come free, which happens very easily with this play and formation, but you definitely want to be mindful of your opponent, what their tendencies are, what offenses they're in, because if the running back blocks, you're going to have to cover a little bit longer, and you're going to want to jump on the most threatening route. So if you know your opponent's throwing a crossing route or a corner route a lot, and the running back stays in the block, you want to make sure you bail out and cover that specific route to give yourself time for the pass rush to come home. But like I said, when the running back goes out, all you got to do is cover for a split second, and look how quick that blitz is. It doesn't get any better than that. Now this is still just the first play. We haven't even gotten into the second play or some of the very important key tips and adjustments that we need to make in order to actually have the best defense, but I want to show you this versus the running back blocking now, just to kind of show you what happens. So the running back's blocking, we want to stick over the middle, and again, look how quick we get to him. Everybody was covered because man defense is very solid this year, and the block sheds out of this defense are very good. I also want you to note the safety that is matched up on the running back. When they block the running back, this actually helps us out in a couple of ways. Number 1, there's less receiving option that you have to worry about for the offense, but also the safety manned up on him will drop into a deep middle third, so he'll protect the deep middle of the field. You get an extra defender in coverage, and they get 1 less receiving option. Watch as the safety drops over the middle, and then we just have to sit over the shallow middle and wait for the pressure to get home, which does not take long at all. Now I do want to mention really quickly that I do have a Patreon page where I break down even higher level Madden tips, strategies, and ebooks. If you want to check that out after this video to take your game to an even higher level, the link will be below in the pinned comment. Now you don't want to run the Mike Blitz 0 the exact same way every time, because a good player will start adjusting to the cover 0 blitz. This is where key tip number 2 comes into play, and that is adjusting the coverage. Pro players like Henry do this all the time because it keeps your opponent guessing. Now this is a little bit more of an advanced tip and something you have to practice, but if you get quick with this, you can adjust the entire back half of this defense with your quick adjustments. You do this by pressing the wire triangle button twice, and then you will see all of these icons pop up. A popular thing to do is to turn this cover 0 into a cover 2. Now you do this by taking the X and B receiver and putting them into a cloud flat, which is down on the left stick. So you can see I've adjusted both of them individually. Then I'm going to take both of my safeties and put them into deep halves, which is up on the left stick. So we're going to do it just like this, and you can see now we have a cover 2 shell. well. Our slot DB is still manned up on number 9. If we want to adjust him into a hook curl or a vertical hook, we can do that as well. Now again, this only takes a couple of seconds to set up, but you're going to have to practice it and get the muscle memory down. So now what we've done is created a cover 2 blitz when they're expecting man, which is going to make them hesitate and either take the quick sack or they might read the defense wrong and throw an interception right to you. You're still going to get that same pressure off the edge, and you're going to have a completely different coverage shell that's going to fool your opponent. Another good way to use this adjusting tip against compressed sets like this is you can actually cover 2 one side of the field and leave the other side of the field manned up. That is another popular thing people do. So if you're expecting them to try to hit the short side of the field or the wide side of the field, depending on who you're playing, you might want to set up a cover 2 shell on the one side of the field like this and keep the other side manned up, and that'll be the side that you favor with your user defender. So we have the running back blocking here, so I know I just got to get over the middle. I've got a user any of these big type of routes like that, and my block shed's going to get home very quickly. Now with key tip number 2, another very important adjustment technique is actually running the Mike Blitz 0, but putting your outside pass rushers into purple zones. You can do this by getting on the players, pressing the A or X button, and then going right on the left stick. This is going to have them dropping into the curl flat area, but what you can also do at your coaching adjustments is you can set your curl flats to drop 20, 25, even 30 yards back. This is a very good mix in that you should throw into your opponents because a lot of people don't know how to beat it, and you're going to have the same look as the blitz. You have your defense pressed, your defensive line crashed out, but instead of having the instant pressure off the edge, you're going for more of a coverage style defense, and this is something that pro players like to do to really throw their opponents off because man defense is already very good this year, and then with the curl flats dropping anywhere from 20 to 30 yards back to the sideline, it helped take away some of the routes that can beat man, like deep crossers, corner routes, or any deep sideline routes. So all you have to focus on doing is just covering up the middle of the field, and eventually the pass rush is going to get home pretty quickly and you have everything blanketed. Now let's take a look at the second important play for this defense, and that is the Sam Will Blitz 3. This is going to allow you to create that same pressure out of a cover 3 look, and the setup is almost the exact same. You want to crash the D-line out, which is left on the D-pad, up on the right stick, but then you want to blitz all of your linebackers because it's going to allow your user to be blitzing, which does help the blitz, and it's also going to take this guy off of a contain and put him into a regular rush angle. So to blitz all your linebackers, you want to go right on the D-pad, down on the right stick, and now you have all your linebackers blitzing. And then lastly, you still want to press your defense, which is wire triangle down on the left stick. An optional thing you can do with both this play and the previous play is shade over top if you're worried about getting beat over the top with a streak. To do that, you can press wire triangle and then up on the right stick. It just makes the DBs bail out and get over the top quicker. But the defense is going to work the exact same way. If the running back is going out, you want to take him or take the short middle, and you know that you're going to get pressure home very quickly. If the running back stays in the block, you have to kind of identify what your opponent likes to do and take away the route that they want to go to most so that you can give your block sheds time to get home. Here we see the running back going out, so we know we just have to cover for a very split second. Everything's covered up and we get a quick sack. The idea here is just to give them a different look to throw them off. If the running back goes out, you're going to still get the quick pressure. If he stays in the block, it's the same thing. Just take away the first read, take away the most important read, and eventually the block shed will get home, usually pretty quickly. For key tip number 3, this is something that Henry used in the tournament, and it's something you should be using as well, and that is using the safety nickel back package. To do this, you go to the 3-3 cub formation and you use your right joystick to scroll through packages. You want to select the one that says safety NB, which stands for nickelback. Now, when you use this technique, you can't audible into the formation. You have to just come out in either the Sam Will Blitz 3 or the Mike Blitz 0. But what you want to do is come out in the Mike Blitz 0, and the reason you want to use the safety NB package is because it sets the defense up differently on the back end, and it actually allows you different adjustments, and this is something that he used to confuse his opponents and get an interception. We're kind of combining key tip number 2 and key tip number 3 with this here, because what we're going to do is set up a creative cover 3 shell. We're going to take both of our safeties, we're going to pull up our quick adjustments by pressing the Y or triangle button twice, and then our safety LB we're going to select, and we're going to put him in an outside third to the left, which is left on the left stick. You can see he's on an outside deep third. We're going to do the same thing with the safety A, and we're going to put him on an outside third to the right, which is left on the right stick. And then we're going to be the middle cover 3 over the middle. So what we've we've done is we're creating a cover 3 look, but it's a different style of cover 3 because typically you're going to have your outside cornerbacks in deep thirds and not your safeties, and this will throw off opponents, even the best of them. So what you want to do is set up your defense as normal. You want to press, you want to crash the D-line out, and then you want to have your 2 outside safeties into those deep zones, and then if you want, you can also go ahead and put the outside cornerbacks into those cloud flats like we did when we did a cover 2, but instead, what we're going to do here is we're going to actually cover the deep middle ourselves. This is our area of the field, and you can see we've set up a cover 2 / cover 3 style look that is completely different than what people expect, and this will throw off a ton of opponents, and it's something that Henry used to throw off some of the best opponents in the world. Now that you've got the best defense in Madden, you're halfway there. All you need now is to learn the 10 best defensive pro tips to the game as a whole, and you can check that important video out right here on the screen.